Jim, several questions have come in about a recent Twitter exchange with one of your favorite people.
Oh, boy.
Austin Aries, or as he's now known on Twitter, Daniel Austin Healy, who apparently went back and forth and...
Or if, as he's known in the locker room when people get a taste of his attitude, Awful Aries.
He apparently had an exchange on Twitter where, in my eyes, he was made to look like a fool with Bob Saget, of all people.
I know.
Did you see this?
Somebody sent it to me. Did the thing, they copied the tweet and sent it to me. I'm like, wait a minute. Austin Aries and Bob Saget are having a fucking joust. And Saget's slapping him down. Apparently now Aries, the turnip man, the plant-powered former wrestler who now apparently is selling some kind of snake oil online from looking at the various health supplements he's got. He doesn't.
Is he really doing that?
Apparently, if you look at his Twitter, because I clicked on the thing and I said, well, I want to follow this chain of conversation between him and Bob Saget, of all people, comedian. And all of his Twitter he's retweeting stuff about these proteins and plant-based and health foods and blah, blah, blah. It's a guy, it's a scam. He's a traveling medicine show on the internet because, he dumbed himself out of position in the rest of the wrestling world. But he's telling Bob Saget is saying, he's not addressing, first of all, Austin Aries, obviously. He's a major Hollywood star. He's saying, hey, I've known some people that had COVID and passed away and got real sick. Please wear your mask. A public service announcement.
Well, specifically because after the election, although many of us are very happy with the results, I personally wouldn't go out in the streets and celebrate right now.
No.
Even though the people you're seeing are predominantly wearing masks, it's a good time to not be around lots of people. There's a pandemic.
You can understand jubilation. People are, they're ecstatic that we've got rid of Ding Dong, the pig is gone. So they're going out. They're still wearing masks, but they're going out in the streets. I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. But you can understand that versus somebody's mad because they can't go to the tanning salon.
And that was Bob Saget's point was, I have the tweet right here. Everyone out there safely celebrating, please wear masks. We don't need more COVID super spreading. And you guys don't want to follow the bad examples we are all still witnessing this year. This COVID shit is real. That was what triggered Austin Aries.
Well, since you have that tweet, can you read the tweet from the diminutive turnip muncher?
Austin Aries replied to TV's Danny Tanner of Full House with, you get paid for this ad? The 99.6% survival rate is real too. Another sad celebrity shill pushing the fear agenda. To which Bob Saget replied, Dear Daniel, I have a few friends.
Because he has no idea who this fucking clown is. He knows he's got a blue check mark because Aries paid for that. But Dear Daniel.
Dear Daniel, I have a few friends who almost died from COVID, and they are middle-aged and were healthy. I find fact and anti-science deniers incredibly sad, but I could still respect your opinion and open to discuss unless you don't talk to celebrity shills. And then, of course, Aries now sees an opening. I'd love to have an open discussion with you. I also find fact and anti-science deniers sad. It seems we may disagree on whose facts and science to believe. It's also not lost on me that most opinions on this virus are directly related and colored by their political affiliation.
You think? Because the people on the positive side of history who want to do something, the Democrats recognize that they should do what the doctors and the scientists say that they should do, and that's why they do it. And the gullible rube suckers who follow the other fellow were not wearing masks, not social distancing, specifically as a sign of disobedience to what the smart people wanted everybody to do. Don't do what those smart people say. Stick with us. I'm not saying that Aries is a hillbilly fucking snaggletooth, knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing cretin from the wilds of Wyoming somewhere. I'm saying he's one of these people who's too smart for his own good because he thinks he's smarter than he is. And by the way, the survival rate is not 99.6 or whatever. I think they said 97% now is the way it's working out. So basically, if everybody in the country gets it, that'd only be about 8 or 9 million people, I think they said. Maybe 7 million that'll just croak and be gone. But all the rest of us can still deal with the ongoing lung scarring and lingering after effects, or we can just cover our fucking faces up and stay the fuck away from each other. But old Austin Healy there is too goddamn stubborn because he thinks he's a lot just like he was as a wrestler. He was good and thought he was a lot better than he was. Now he's a smart guy and he thinks he's a whole lot smarter than he is. That's why he sits in a corner and eats turnips.
Well, Jim, on the topic of smart guys, before we wrap things up, any thoughts on the news that broke as we were recording? The death of Alex Trebek.
Oh, I saw that right before we went on the air here, and I hate that. I love Jeopardy. He's synonymous with that program. He's just so smooth and such a nice man. You could tell everybody that worked with him liked him. But I mean, he's 80 and he had cancer. So I guess we should all do that bad. But it's still sad. But he worked and stayed in it right up to the end. You got to admire that in a guy. And he looked good for 80. Fuck, look at Jake. He's barely 60. He's not even 65.
You see Jake announced that he has COPD?
I didn't even know he could spell it.
He announces he has COPD, and then his appearance on the pay-per-view in that promo we did with Lance Archer, he's singing some song about cigarettes.
I zipped through the promo, I think, to be honest with you. I didn't see that either, but I don't know. R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
All right, well, let's wrap things up. It's been a tiring episode of the Drive-Thru. Thank you, Tony Khan, for another great show. They were good matches.
Trump
I can't lie.
Losing the presidency couldn't keep me in a good mood after watching that show.
There were good matches. See, that's the problem. There were good matches. There was stuff I really liked. And then there's stuff I just hate. Like, there's never just a show where, wow, I liked every single thing I saw.
Well, but no, there's never going to be anything you just really well, yes, there actually has been numerous times wrestling shows where we liked everything on it, but it doesn't have to be that way. But does everything have to be so long that even the stuff you like, you get tired of?
The length to me isn't the problem. It's going from a serious wrestling match to an outlaw mud show, or to a garbage match, or to pockets.
Well, close the show or I'll do another chorus.